Hey, welcome back. The Commanders Jazz Ensemble from the United States Air Force Band of the Golden West is performing in our area this week from the Travis Air Force Base in the Bay Area of California. These amazing men and women serve as part of the Air Mobility Command.
Yeah, so joining us today to share a sneak peek of their upcoming performance is Lieutenant Colonel Christina Moore-Urrutia. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We have Senior Airman Alexander Valdez. We have Airman First Class Tomas Antonik and Airman First Class Stephen Morris. So welcome, you guys.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yes, we're so excited. So the United States Air Force Band of the Golden West has a few different ensembles that perform around the West Coast. Tell us all about that and what it's like being the conductor.
Absolutely. So we are 60 members of our band.
Oh, wow.
We break up into about 10 different ensembles, and as the commander and conductor of the band, it's my pleasure to be able to work with such outstanding musicians in everything from ceremonies to full concerts, orchestral, as well as rock and pop and jazz.
You do it all.
Yes, ma'am.
So this particular group, the Commanders Jazz Ensemble, it focuses on performing big band jazz.
Yes.
So tell us all about how many airmen musicians are a part of this group, where you're from, and what it takes to make the ensemble.
Absolutely. So this group goes back to Glenn Miller and the days of 1941 in supporting the troops. And so this particular group is 19 members from, we've got saxophones, trombones, trumpets, rhythm section, vocal, and audio, and they all come together very quickly to perform this kind of music. It only takes a handful of rehearsals for this level of performer.
Amazing.
And then first and foremost, you are an ambassador for the U.S. Air Force. So
Yes.
talk to us about your mission and how you inspire and connect to, people who are, inspired to walk in your shoes one day.
Thank you. So no matter where we're stationed in the world, all Air Force bands have the same mission: honor, inspire, and connect. We honor our nation and our military heritage, as well as the defense of freedom that our veterans have done all through the world, and those who have died in defense of that freedom. We also inspire resiliency in our airmen, that war-fighting spirit. Sometimes they need that encouragement to go another day to fight. And then, of course, inspiring patriotism in our nation's citizens as we remind them of the cost of freedom. And then finally, to connect. We connect with various allies and partners all over the world to make sure we're building relationships and using music to build that bridge. No matter what culture, we can find a way to connect in those ways. So it's really an honor.
It's really the universal way to connect with anybody,
It is in many
right?
ways, absolutely.
And with everything going on in Ukraine, I think it should be noted, more than 30% of all aid to Ukraine is actually passed through Travis Air Force Base. Talk about what that means and how you've been able to help.
Absolutely. So I think the most obvious thing is that our military is created for our nation's defense. But what often a story that isn't told is the effort that goes on in humanitarian support, as well as military-to-military training, and as we work with our allies and partners around the world. So as the example that you mentioned, much of the aid that has gone to Ukraine has gone through Travis Air Force Base. In 2022 alone, that equated to 160 flights that was carrying 2.6 million tons of cargo. So we're very proud of the efforts that our airmen from Travis Air Force Base have done to support the cause of freedom and the fight for democracy.
Thank you so much for doing that.
You guys do so much, and not only do you perform concerts, but you also teach. You put on music clinics. So talk to us about that.
Absolutely. Part of that inspiration piece is to inspire the next generation to consider service. And one of the ways we do that is through music. Of course, kids light up when you come in, the shiny uniform, and working with the kids to talk about the ways that music can help them, not only as musicians, but in all facets of life. That discipline of music helps you to be a better citizen, as well as helps you with science, engineering, math, all of those important aspects. And so that's one of the things that we do.
And then you guys are performing in our region this week. So now we're going to have a sneak peek performance of all of this. So go ahead and take it away.
Thank you.
closed most of the time. That is so talented.
You've got 2 shows this week in our area, one tonight in Seattle and tomorrow in Tacoma. Tell us where people can check out your performances.
Yeah, absolutely. So tonight we're playing here in Seattle at Benaroya Hall, specifically the Ilsley Ball Nordstrom Recital Hall tonight at 7 p.m. And then tomorrow night we're playing at the Rialto Theater in Tacoma at 7 p.m. the same time. And we're very easy to search online. You can go search USAF Band of the Golden West and the respective venue, and you can find that we have an Eventbrite, and our event is also at the respective venues' websites, and where you can reserve tickets.
That's wonderful.
But they're free and open to the public, so you are more than welcome to just show up and come join and watch us and have a good time. Hopefully.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I'm sure anyone who attends will have the best time. You can catch the Commander Show tonight in Seattle, tomorrow in Tacoma, and we've got a link with more info up on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio 13 Live. And coming up, Duke Seafood is joining us in studio with a look at their